Heyo, it's BF Portal Pro, and look at that. Today I remembered to unmute my mic. It's perfect. We're already off to a much better start. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm doing pretty good. Still hyped off the website release yesterday. So pleased with how that's going. So many submissions already. It's filling up quick. Not that we're short on room. I encourage everybody, any game mode you make, come put it on. Of course, your code never changes, so even as you make updates to your game, you can head to bfportal.pro and submit your game code, and anybody can play it. Soon people will be able to leave feedback. Who knows? Anyway, so yeah, I'm still feeling pretty good off the website release, but that being said, in all candidness, is that a word? Whatever. In all candidacy. Candidacy? Yeah, whatever. I haven't had time to actually build a trial run of the hardpoint mode we're going to be building today. So this is going to be a learning experience for everybody all at once. And I'll probably need the help of chat, and I'll probably need the help of Google, and everything's going to be great. So with that very encouraging and inspiring intro done, let's just hop right into it. So got us a little Google Doc here so we can just spit out some ideas of what Hardpoint is at its core and what I think this version of Hardpoint could be. So Hardpoint, if you don't know, there's one physical point on the map that everyone wants to be at to earn points. Typically this would be played in a team strategy, otherwise it's more like King of the Hill sort of thing. So I guess, yeah, we're kind of building more of a King of the Hill setup to ours, but you could easily modify this to be team deathmatch instead of free-for-all based game mode, and then it'll work. So anyways, there's one physical point on the map that everyone wants to be at to earn points. In the case of King of the Hill, there's pretty much only one person allowed to be earning points at a time. Otherwise, everybody would just hang out on the hill. You're not much of a king if you're sharing the throne. So that's a problem. So one physical point everyone wants to be at. We already are running into an issue with Portal then, because we have no way to define accurate locations in the game world, right? So we have our vector system that we can define points in a 3D space. However, there's no logic to determine what map you're on, what the boundaries of that map are, height maps, and there's a million issues there. Ideally, we would have some form of like world editor where we could go in and place either just investigate points. Shit, if Portal could tell us what map is currently loaded on the server, and then we could also go and investigate. Well, I guess we could do the investigation ourselves right now with some of the debugging tools people have made, printing out the coordinates in the top right or whatever. Either way, we need some way to at least know what map we're on, and then we could work with the vector system a little bit more to where you can define a physical point or a physical object that people have to be at. But unfortunately, right now we can't do that. We could just set a point that should be included in all maps, but if the point never moves, then that's not much of a challenge. And that point that might be included on all maps might not be in the best place to actually play out the game. So in order to solve this problem, I was actually pitched this variation on this game mode by somebody in our Discord. Shout out the Discord. If you're watching this and you're not on the BF Portal Pro Discord, missing out. That place is crazy. It is going off all the time. In all the best ways. So anyway, so this was pitched to me that what if you had a player, sorry, Smash, just saw your comment. What is Hardpoint? So, well, we're going through it right now. But what if we had a player who at the start of the match was defined as the hardpoint, right? That player can move. There's a radius around that player that we include as being within the hardpoint. If no other players are within the radius of the hardpoint player, the hardpoint player could earn points. However, if there's one player within the radius of the hardpoint player, that one player could earn points. And if anybody kills the hardpoint player, then they become the new hardpoint player. Which, as soon as I heard that game mode, sounds like an awesome time. So right off the bat, I've had some thoughts. So instead of one physical point on the map, let's change that to be one person on the map is the hard point at any given moment. That person should be spotted at all times. So that way there's no cheesy hiding spots that they can just go hide. Like, it should be about the running and gunning and how well you can play, not how cheeky you can be. I mean, there should be a bit of cheekiness to it too, but if you can just hide in some weird spot or glitch into a wall because it's frickin' beta 2042 instead of Battlefield 2042, then that's no good. So let's make them spotted at all times for all their players, just for fun. And then, of course, as soon as you kill somebody and you kill the hard point and you become the hard point, then you're spotted at all times, and that person is free from the chains of bondage of being spotted. I think we could also do some balancing things where maybe the hardpoint player, depending on how well it plays, they get additional ammo, they get additional health or faster health regeneration. I wish we could set movement speed at runtime, because I would love to set so that the hardpoint player can move at 1.3 times speed while everybody else is stuck at 1. That is something I'm really hoping they fix. But sticking with things we can change, I don't want to go in off the bat and adjust a bunch of stuff. Sorry, my Amazon package just got delivered. Okay, I don't want to go in off the bat and adjust a bunch of stuff in the setup that, like I usually say, I don't want to just screw it all up before ever playing the game. So we're going to stick to that here. I think we will stick to loadouts that are defined in the logic editor, so that way we're not building them in the team editor and we can have more granular control. And with that, then we can determine later if we want to give, the hardpoint player a special weapon or a handicap or whatever we want to do. So if that makes sense, then we will say weapons determined at runtime via logic editor. And then so we'll also need a way to check if any players within range of hardpoint. We'll also need to do kill logic to transfer the hardpoint. I'm just using this document as a place to spit out my ideas. There's a very good chance I don't even open this again while we're building it, but I might, because I have a terrible memory. But really, I can't overstate the value of just getting your ideas onto paper, because you'll just think of new things and think of things you didn't before and why something will work or why it might not. Jeez, I'm just choking today. Okay, so this would be a pretty good start. Obviously, as a sub point to checking if players are within range, assign points based on status of that. So if we could get all of these things working, we've got a basic hardpoint that then, like I said, we can go through and assign handicaps and special power-ups and whatever the hell we want to do next. So with that being said, let's hop right into it. Go ahead and create a new one, free for all. As per usual, when I'm picking a map, especially with a game like this, I'll probably pick something small just so I'm not running a million years to find an enemy. And I'll probably pick something I know pretty well so that I know how to find people. So we'll do a data center. Maximum human players. Let's think about this for a little bit. Of course, you could change this later. 32 is probably a good number to be at. It'll be a little hectic on the small maps, especially with the free-for-all, so that might get toned down. I have found myself using 24 players a lot for a good moderate-sized game that in close quarters combat. So, pro tip to y'all. Squad spawn doesn't matter because it's free-for-all. Friendly fire doesn't matter. Projectile speed multiplier, gonna leave it. We're gonna pretty much leave all this stuff as is. Drop ammo only just because whenever we define our loadouts in the logic editor, we don't want somebody picking up somebody else's loadout unless we tell them they're allowed to have it. You've got no teammates, so let's just instant death everybody. Yep, all this is fine, fine, fine. Yep, all that looks good. We'll say no combat vehicles. And just realized didn't have my chat pulled up. There we go. That's better. 6 viewers. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Feel free to say hello in the chat. If you have any ideas, have any thoughts, you want to toss it out there, you disagree with something I'm changing in the settings, let me know. I'm usually delayed reading the chat, but I'm working on it. I'm getting better at it. Okay, ping behavior. This is important. 3D spot enemy targets. Let's get those wall hacks going, baby. But realistically, yeah, I just want it to follow the player and be nice and smooth. So we could also, again, later if we want to, turn off mini-maps so that you can't just follow the blips to where the action is. You actually have to find the hard point yourself. But because we can't, well, and we're spotting the enemy. That doesn't really matter. We'll leave it all on. And again, I can fuck with all this later. PvP AI, no PvE AI, default's fine, and they can act like players. All right, let's pick some teams. So, again, this is just for aesthetics. Let's not have the superhero frenzy. Let's go like Bad Company 2. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. We're going to disable all the weapons just like we usually do. Again, when we do it in Logic Editor, you don't want them deciding what the weapons they can have are. Come on, please give us a disable all button on these pages. It's so freaking tedious. Vehicles doesn't matter because we disabled them. And gadgets, we'll define these in the Logic Editor as well. Okay, just like that, we're in. I'm going to go ahead and create this just so it saves. We're going to call this player hardpoint for now in beta. Small worms, man, I am awesome. Well, thank you. Great move to create the site. Very, very nice, thank you. DICE should pay me. Well, there's an idea. DICE, if there's any DICE developers watching this stream, if you guys want BF Portal Pro to be part of your company, well, we'd have to talk. I don't know. I've seen how you run things. I think I'm a little more efficient on my own, a little more highly effective. I'm glad you're enjoying the site, Small Worms. You know, it's only going to get better from here. It's been 12 hours since, or maybe a little more than that. No, about 12 hours since it launched. And yeah, it's been great. The reception's been great, and I'm just so excited to see everything going on. Smash T says, can you have Bad Company 2 classes and then have those classes use weapons from all eras at the same time in Logic Editor? Yeah, so if you haven't seen my previous tutorials on like gun game and stuff, or even if you have and just need a reminder, pretty much when we want to define our loadouts dynamically through the Logic Editor rules, then we're going to, the teams you pick are just for a visual aesthetic. You're going to disable all the weapons, disable all the attachments, because you're going to define those things in the Logic Editor. And then at that point, it doesn't care. You know, you can give a 1942 soldier 2042 weapons. They don't care. But when you build, like if you were building a conquest match, for example, where there's no Logic Editor, then what you pick you can only use those arrow weapons on that team and so on and so forth. So that's really the power of the Logic Editor. It's just for visuals. Yeah, it is pretty cool. All right, so now that we got this saved, thanks for the questions, y'all. Keep them coming if you got more. Let's go ahead and dive into this. So glancing at our document here, let's kind of get these in order. Let's start by defining our loadouts. So I like to do that by creating a subroutine. We'll call this create loadouts. And let's play it different. I usually put it on the left. Let's go to the right this time. Just change it up today. If things start breaking and going wrong, it's going on the left. You know it, the first thing. So we're going to change this to on game mode started. We're also going to need a few variables here. So one, we're going to need a variable to store our array for our non-hardpoint players, our array for our hardpoint players, weapons that is, I'm referring to. So both of their loadouts, and then we'll also need a few other variables, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. So hardpoint load, wow, I'm going to just keep trying to type loud out. Wow, okay. No typing and talking, not happening. Hardpoint loadout. And player loadout. Cool. So now that we have those, we can go here to arrays and, oh, see, I'm already confused. It's over here on the right. We're going to set a variable at index. Let's make this one, let's set up our player loadout first, since by default everybody will be a player, so we can test that first. By the way, has anybody been using Portal recently? Is the game quota good to go right now, or are we just going in blind like last time? I will look forward to anybody's answer if they have one. In the meantime, we're going to set the index with a number literal. So what we're saying is, in this subroutine, on game mode started, we want to run this set of code. In this set of code, we're going to have a bunch of these. And these are saying, hey, in this list of data, at this point, which will say 0 to be the first point, set it to be this value. And then when we have another one of these, and it's set to 1, the second thing in the list will be set to this value. So then when we try and get this list of data and we say get what's in position 0, it'll return this. Get what's in position 1, it'll return this. Super handy and dynamic. Smash T says working for him or her, them, 2021. That's awesome. Good. Really hope it holds up. Just wish I could spin up a server, not 200, 300 ping away, for real. Even if it was just like you're playing solo, you're playing bots. Let me spin up something local on my device, especially on PC at least. But I digress. Anyways, so before I go crazy just copy and pasting a bunch of this, let's go and grab a player inventory slot. Nope, that's not what I want. We want a primary weapon. Sorry, I'm still waking up for the day. And again, this is where you get to be creative. Pick your loadouts. Essentially what you want to do, we're going to do like I just did in the last live stream where you've got a list of randomized primaries. It picks one primary at the start of the match. Everybody who is a player and not a hardpoint gets that one primary and the other predetermined loadout. The hardpoint player gets their predetermined loadout. And then the next map that happens, it'll randomize that start list, and it'll be a new primary, but the rest of the loadout will remain the same, and it'll be the same primary through the course of the match. So that's what we're going to be doing eventually, but for right now, let's just get something stupid basic going. I don't know. We can just have them start with an MP9, sure. In our second slot, we're going to throw a player inventory seconds weapon. Secondary weapons? There it is. That's the right order of words. Let me grab some refreshing Baja Blast. It's like 11:30 in the morning, and I've got a half-drank large Baja Blast down the hatch. What am I doing with my life, man? Making money moves, that's what we're doing. Okay. So, there we go. Now we've got a primary, a secondary defined. Let's give them a throwable, a gadget, and a specialty. So we'll go up here, grab a throwable, inventory throwables. Make sure we set this to 2. I don't know what I was thinking when I did that. Throwables, we'll grab a gadget, and we'll grab a specialty. Let's see, for specialties, let's think about this. We want to encourage our hardpoint player to be on the move. We're defining our player loadout right now, but you have to keep in mind how the loadouts are going to interact with one another, especially when it comes to specialties, gadgets. Of course, if you don't want specialties, feel free to not include specialties or gadgets. You can leave any of this out, and then as long as you have it disabled in the setup previously where we were picking the teams, then they won't be able to use any of this stuff. So, of course, this is all granular and modular to what you need it to be. But like I was saying, we want to encourage our hardpoint player to move. So we're not going to give them anything like a fortification system or anything like that. I'm thinking maybe even they either need a med pen or a Surette pistol so they can self-heal. I'm kind of thinking a med pen so that they could also have a grappling hook and, again, really promote that mobility when you're the hardpoint player. So if the hardpoint player has a grappling hook, let's see. I don't know. Anybody have a suggestion for what the regular players should have for specialties, gadgets, or throwables? I'm open to any suggestions. Let's take a look at the throwables for a minute. Frag. EMP. Okay, so the hostile, the hardpoint player, that's the other H word, should probably get like smoke grenades. That would be pretty cool. Or proximity sensors, although that's not much use because since they'll be pinged in 3D in real time, everybody's going to be pushing towards them. They're not, wondering if somebody's going to be in the next room. They should probably expect somebody's going to be in the next room. So to make diversions, they could probably get smoke. I usually turn off or don't use frag grenades, but we'll use frag grenades. No suggestions from the peanut gallery as far as what we should be using. So I'm going to say radio beacon. I'm going to say the grenade belt's a little OP. It's fun, but it's OP. We could just give both sides grappling hooks to, again, really promote that mobility. It is a chase, after all. So, now, we've got those defined. That's excellent. We need to now give those to somebody when they spawn in. So, on player deployed, somebody said that they think that Portal fixed the thing where you need to add a weight before everything, but I've got trust issues, so we're just going to go ahead, add a 0.25 weight. If your Portal game is having any random crashes that you don't understand, then go ahead and add one of those weights, and it should fix it. It's just a race condition on the server that they need to fix. So, on player deployed, we're going to wait, and then we're going to replace player inventory. And it takes a reference to a player, so we can grab our event player. If you don't know, when a rule is ran, it usually has an event player assigned to it. You can check the help block over here. And it usually references, for example, on player deployed, the event player is the player that was deployed. It's pretty self-explanatory. So now we can say arrays, value in array. I also wish they would fix that drag and drop issue. We're going to specify, okay. Am I crazy? Oh, this needs to be a get variable. I am a little crazy. There we go, get variable. Let's make ourselves some room. Hardpoint loadout, no, we want player loadout to start. Eventually we will check and see if they are the hardpoint, but we will get to that in a minute. Do I have a programming or JavaScript background? Yes, I do. So I actually have been programming since I was 8 years old. I self-taught Lua, which is a super simple programming language. And just from there took off, ended up learning C# and then Java. And then I ended up building a whole career as a Android developer. So now I'm a lead software engineer or lead Android engineer at 2 different firms right now. So that's my day job. Obviously, 8 years old was many, many years ago. And I picked up many, many new languages and skills since then. You know, the entire Portal Pro website I coded in about 36 hours, and just myself. And yeah, I actually lately have been doing some Unity development in C# and making my own games for VR and mobile and PC. I've got a game I'm working on called Pirates Plunder, which is a HDRP 3D pirate game, open world sailing, you know, a little Sea of Thieves, but way more realistic, way more RPG, really fun. So yeah, that's kind of what I come from, is a software background. And then about 6 years ago, I got a passion for multimedia. I've been a musician for my whole life, so I started recording my own music, and then that made me want to record music videos. So then I got an interest in videography, and then I got an interest in streaming, and then I ended up buying a whole studio setup with light boxes, and here we are now. So yeah, a little bit of everything's where I come from. But back on it, we're going to replace our player's inventory. So what we're saying here is, hey game, when a player spawns, replace the inventory for this player with whatever index we specify from this array. So if you remember over here, we have our index 0 is their primary weapon. Awesome. We're going to actually end up doing this for all 5 of the slots because we want to give them all 5 of the things. Of course, if you only want your player to get some things sometimes under a certain set of circumstances or conditions, then you can put these wherever you want. But in my game, I want them to all just drop in with everything they can use in the fight. Okay, so with that being done, yeah, it's pretty much that simple to get a loadout going. Let me go ahead and get 2042 booted up here, and we can test it and make sure. Smash T, oh nice, I have basically no experience, but I'm picking it up. I think if I had any object-oriented language experience, it would make it a lot easier. Yeah, for sure. I mean, maybe it's just because I'm a Java guy, but object-oriented is the shit. But using the portal editor should keep familiarizing you. I'm very pleased with how little they've dumbed it down. You know, obviously it's a nice, easy drag and drop interface. I know there's some Chrome extensions and stuff that allow people who know how to code and want to code to just write code because it is faster. However, you know, in a lot of these drag and drop block code systems, they're just so dumbed down, and you don't really know what's going on behind the scenes, and so you're not learning, you know, in a way that could be applied easier to more realistic coding languages. So just my 2 bits there. I'm pretty pleased with that. Just hanging on with me for a second while we get 2042 going. Anybody know what those random errors are on boot right now? I've been getting them since the patch. Like, nothing bad happens that I know of, but let me know if you know what those are, if I can fix them. Well, while I'm waiting for 2042 here, anybody seen any just really crazy game modes in Portal yet? I saw that one on the Discord where they had the AI people like with the parachutes forming the ring. That was crazy. That's just insane. Yeah, that one's just nuts. I mean, and the math and the logic to get it doing that appropriately, very impressive. Okay, let's switch over to Battlefield. Forgive me if my OBS needs to be fixed. Look at that, it does. There it goes. The Zombies versus Spec Ops. I saw that one in the list. I haven't had time to play it yet. I think what I'm going to end up doing with the editor's picks is make a live stream out of it, where once a week we all get together, play through some game modes. I'll invite viewers to come and play with me, and we can try them out and see which ones we like the best for that week and mark them as our favorites. So I've seen a CSGO one, which is pretty neat. 5v5, single life per round, buy menu during buy phase, switch teams halftime, first team to 7 wins, get money on kills, and round wins. Yeah, that's awesome. I've seen that one as well, Smash, and I want to implement something like that as well with looting. Monotonist, am I on an ultra-wide monitor? Yes, I am. I just got this bad boy about a month ago, and it's been amazing. Yeah, Smash, if you can find that CSGO one again, everybody actually, if you can encourage people to put their stuff, you see a good game mode on Reddit or whatever, encourage them to put it on the site, because that's how we're going to get them on there. But yeah, I would love to do something with a money dynamic and looting bodies. I think when you die, I could save your location to a variable. And then if the player goes to that location, assign additional points for money. You could do a whole bunch of stuff. I think it would be cool. But anyways, it let us in. Let's make sure it gives us our loadout when we deploy here. Oh, look at those frames. Just like that. Oh my god. Oh, it's chugging. I don't have like a 3090 or anything, but my PC is no slouch. But look at this. Oh, come on, DICE. What the fuck is this? Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, it gave us our loadout. That's all we need to know. That is awful. Whew. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I've got a 5600 XT, which, I had a 5700 and then I spilled 3 Guinnesses on my desktop. And that was no bueno. I just realized my chat is messed up on this screen. Okay, there we go. Switch back to that. No more frame drop. Much better. And actually, while I'm here, let me just add a chat box. I just realized it was on the other page, but not here. But y'all might want to see yourselves. People later might want to see it. So just hang on for 2 seconds while I do this. Does it normally run for me like this off stream too? Depends on the day, honestly. Sometimes. Height 200. Yeah, that'll work. And we'll do 400. Yeah, it just depends. Sometimes it's better. Sometimes it's a lot better. And sometimes it's just straight up awful. It's actually so bad right now that I'm going to have to close that out. Okay, thanks for holding on. Now there's a chat box. Much improved. It's also not going to crop them funny. I noticed that as well. Okay. Back to what we were doing. Yeah, no, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's my streaming software. I am running everything on one PC right now, which is a workload for sure. But like I said, I keep my settings pretty low on Battlefield. Next time we go into test, I'll crank them down to like, nothing. And we'll try that. But anyways, so we got one loadout working. That's awesome. Let's go ahead and let's think about setting a player to be the hardpoint. So we're going to need a global variable. And we're going to call this current hardpoint. Sorry, just trying to think of a good naming convention that isn't going to get confusing with the loadout. Sweet. Let's add a on player earned kill. And let's add a control action. If get variable Ooh, how can I check if something's empty, if it's null? Is there like a... I mean, if I leave that empty, will that count as null? And this actually leads me to my next question. Can I replace a player's inventory by leaving that blank and removing the weapon? That's not... Oh, used coding. That's something I want to test. And that's actually something we need to test right now, is whether or not it can check to see if it's empty. That could be a major holdup. Otherwise, we'll need to set it to be some arbitrary value and then overwrite it. Oh, but then we're going to have to do checks anytime we access that value to see whether it's the arbitrary value or the actual player value. Whew. Fun stuff, fun stuff. We'll get there. Okay, well, while that's booting up, we're going to hope that this works for right now. If not, like I said, we can configure it to work with something arbitrary. So, if there's nobody, or rather, if the hardpoint is not currently set, I should say, then we should set that with set variable. We will set current hardpoint to be the event player. So pretty much what I'm saying here is, okay, what am I looking for? Event player. If there's nobody set as the hardpoint and you get the first kill, you become the hardpoint. At that point, going forward, sorry, I'm just trying to think through some logic right now. My head just gets going ahead of itself. But at that point, then you are the hard point. So that way we can get the ball rolling. You could make it randomly pick somebody at the start, but at least this way they're kind of earning their position somehow. Something I'm going to do here in on game mode started is add a while greater than Let me know if you guys are getting like crazy bad frame drop or anything in the stream. My computer actually says, what the hell is going on here? I'm locked out. Had to hit it with the quick Control Alt Delete. Please hold if you guys can still hear me. I can't even check whether the stream's cut out or not. Sorry, guys. Yeah, that's what I figured. I think I'm looking at Task Manager right now. I think I see what's going on. So give me just a second to try and make it all better. Oh, come on. Man, when even Task Manager is locking up, something's got a memory leak for sure. It's Battlefield. Guess who's using 3 gigs of memory right now, just doing nothing. And of course, my GPU is only 15% cranked, so definitely shouldn't use more of that. Are we back? We're back. Woohoo! Okay, so that's going to be a bit of an issue, is I'll need to figure that one out in order to test. Because yeah, it's not even going to let me open the game to change my settings now. There's something seriously screwed up with it. So, let me see about. Okay, now that I have that turned off. Gotta love it. The joys of live entertainment. The things I do for you people. Who am I kidding? I'd be sitting here doing this anyways. Thanks, Smash, for following. You just pushed the Twitch followers to 10. I'm pretty sure I just got a Twitch achievement for that. Fuck yeah. I made it big. I gotta call my mom. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm just playing. Okay. So far, it's not eating shit like it did last time. Hey, Monotonous, while you're here, I was working on the profile section of the site earlier, and it's looking really sick. I remember we were talking about that on the Discord. I actually should have the profiles pretty much ready to ship either tonight or tomorrow. And then people will be able to create accounts, edit their games, see a list of all games they've favorited, all the games they've submitted. And then once we have accounts, we can have comments, which is pretty cool. All right, let me, it let me in. It's not taking a dump right now, so let me just try and fix some of this. Graphics quality, potato. It's actually crazy how easy it is to make the account. Because I have it set up so that everybody technically has an account, they're just anonymous through the service I use. But that's just to like keep track of your session so that your favorites stay your favorites and all that. But it makes it so easy. Once you enter your email and password you want to use, it literally just flips a switch and your account is now an email password account and everything just works. It's insane. God bless Firebase. Okay. It's looking like it's running way better now. Let me switch over to Battlefield. Let me fix the capture. There we go. Okay, try this again. So what we want to see, and actually something I want to add here so that we can keep track. Let's send a notification. Oh, it's definitely slowing down, but let's make the message just so I can be notified when a player is the hardpoint. Get variable. I don't know if the set variable is asynchronous or if I can just call it immediately. If anybody knows, I would love to find out. All right, so-and-so is now the hardpoint. We'll display that to everybody. And then we'll... spot the player, and for right now, I'm just going to give it an obscene amount of time. I guess that's not really obscene. That's a little more obscene. Hey, Sloth Thing fanboy, welcome to the Twitch. Yeah, I don't have any information on it, although I would not be surprised if that's exactly how they're handling... Oh, sorry, I just realized I was showing you guys Battlefield that whole time. Let me switch to Chrome so you can see what I just did. I added a display notification message just to display that a player is now the hardpoint with the event player, display it to everybody, and spot that event player for everybody for 6,000 seconds. That'll eventually be changed, but just so I can see. Anyways, Sloth, yeah, I think the same thing. I bet they probably are just grabbing a random one and saying, good enough, you know, letting you have it, and it's going to run like shit, but give us the ability to pay for hosted servers. Imagine if we as a community could like crowdfund some hosted servers and stuff. Oh, they're just available to use. That would be awesome. I would totally figure out if they allowed third-party hosting. I would definitely set the site up as a provider. There's all sorts of shit we could do, but they need to give it to us. Okay. All right, that's running a little better with it set to potato mode. Let me switch you guys back. I mean, okay, I jinxed it now. Okay, that person's now the hard point. It's spotting all those players. Interesting. Okay, well that answered the question then. It does not work if you leave that to empty. I think that doesn't check for null. I think it checks for anything. Yeah, I would pay good money for hosted servers. Okay, so what we're going to need to do to solve this is up here, set variable. We're going to set the current hardpoint to be the variable, or to be a literal false. Okay, now we're saying if it's equal to false, then give them that. Otherwise, it's not going to update. Sweet. Oh, look, my notification is staying on my screen. Oh my god, sorry. I'm still getting used to switching. I got a Stream Deck, so it does make it really nice. Thank you for the heads up. Just to show you what I did. I just threw a false into this empty equals because it won't check against an empty for null, which also means that my test here, well, that still might work. But I would need to actually kill a player to find out. Isn't that funny? So up here at the start, we're setting the variable current hardpoint to false. Then when a player earns a kill, if it's set to false, then they are the first hardpoint. We can even change the message to reflect that. Is the first hardpoint. All right, now we shouldn't be seeing all the enemies pinged. We should only see one once it happens. Switch you guys back to Battlefield. Player hardpoint. Anybody got any fun plans for the weekend? Just lots of Battlefield. I'll be working on the site, playing Battlefield, petting my dog. That's about it for me. Okay. Okay, we've got one that is the hard point. Cool, so we killed that person. They were not spotted. So our logic works. Also, my logic to replace player inventory did not work. Well, maybe it would work because I died immediately, well, pretty closely after. But it seems like it did not work. Bear with the shitty frames while I test one more thing. Oh, he's right in front of me. Yep, did not take away the inventory. Okay. Good to know I had that theory, but we need to get a null object for sure in the portal editor. So we can go ahead and delete this. This was just for testing. So now this is working. So we have our first hard point, and he's going to stay spotted forever. So let's get to our while statement that I started up here. While greater than... so we want to get game time remaining is greater than 0. Get game time remaining is greater than 0. So this will pretty much always run. And then we're going to add a wait 1 second so it runs every second. What am I looking for right now? Number literal. So if it is greater than 0, let's just go ahead and add our wait at the bottom here so we don't forget that. Let's add an if. If, we'll check this. Except we're not going to do it equals, we're going to do it does not equals. Or not equal to, excuse me. Okay, so now we're saying if our hardpoint variable is not what we initialize it to, if it's set to a player, then here's where we're actually going to move our spotting. We'll change our event player reference to be the get variable. It is just doing all sorts of janky stuff, isn't it? We can set this to be like 2 seconds. That way it doesn't flicker on and off. We got a question. Plans for a feedback option on our site for specific games, or maybe people in the Discord assigned to a playtester role. I was just trying supporter games out that are on the site, and one keeps ending in a draw. I assume the creator would want the feedback. Yep, so probably by the end of this weekend, we're going to have comments live. So anybody can leave a comment and potentially even mark a few things with that comment, like, you know, was a bug, or, you know, a few different things to kind of define what the comment is. And we can then, I'll have probably notifications on your profile when you get comments. And then if you get a comment that's marked as a bug or that something isn't working, it'll be elevated and all sorts of cool stuff. So yeah, feedback is coming soon. Because obviously I'm encouraging everybody to put their game modes on there, but a lot of the game modes aren't tested thoroughly, or there's bugs that might be edge cases. So definitely want the ability to have some back and forth between everybody. It is very cool. So anyways, going back to what I was saying, we're going to spot the target for 2 seconds, and even though we're updating every 1 second, so when the hardpoint changes, it'll probably be a little overlap. I guess we could make it for 1.5 seconds if we wanted to. But this way, it's just not flickering on and off. We want it to consistently happen. So while the time is greater than 0, we're consistently marking the hardpoint. And then we're going to loop. So we're going to need a variable here to loop under. This is going to be, let me get my thoughts straight. Okay, this is going to be what determines whether people are within range. So we'll call this the distance iterator. And all it's, oh, not create another one. And all it's got to do is be a reference from 0 to, oh no, tell me I did not just lose progress there. Come on, don't let me down. Oh, that bastard. Look at that. It just fucked me there. Okay. Well, thanks for the warning that I was about to leave the site and have on-save changes. Dice. Let's do it all again. Greater than get game mode time remaining is greater than 0. Oh man, that sucks. You gotta love it. At least it wasn't more than that. We can work with it. We can work with it. Everything's gonna be fine. Now is not the time to panic. We're gonna wait for 1 second. We're gonna grab an if, and we're gonna check this variable. Actually, I'll grab this whole thing. We're gonna change it to a not equals to. If the current hardpoint is not equal to false, let's hit it with that quick save real quick. Then we're going to grab our spot target. Oh, that's right. We can delete this. Then we're going to spot, not the event player, but the get variable for that for 1.5 seconds. Okay. I think we're back to where I was. Now we were doing the loop. We'll put it inside of this. Actually, not an if. We need a loop. Let's see if that variable got saved. It might have. Nope. Distance iterator. Loop variable distance iterator. Again, hit it with the save real quick. From 0 to count of get players by 1. So this is saying we're going to go through each of the players, and then we're going to add an if. We want to make sure that the player we're comparing isn't ourselves. Interesting. Okay, I just had a thought. We need some way to determine if more than one player is inside of the point, right? So that you can't be sharing it. I'm trying to think here. So I could create an array of users that's dynamic, called within distance or something. And then when this check is correct, that you are within distance, you get added to the array. Then I also check the length of the array. If that length is greater than 1, then you don't get points. Otherwise, you get points. However, removing from the array, I'll need a reference. I got it. A player variable that stores the index of you in the distance array. So when you're no longer... Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Let's slow it down a second here. So, let's just get a notification if we are within distance of the player. Of the hardpoint. So, if less than or equal to distance between get player state player state vector, their position. Okay. So our current array element right now is going to be a user object. And then we can use the get variable for this one. Okay, so what we're saying here That's actually pleasing how that fits together right there. If less than or equal to, so we're going to say, is the distance between the player we're looking at in this loop, their position, and the hardpoint player's position, is that less than, and then we'll need to define some number literal to make sure within range. We probably want to make it fairly tight. I'll just say like 10 for now. I have no idea what the scale of units is inside of Battlefield and Portal. Feet, meters, relatively. So usually in game design it's in meters, but if that's the case, then 10 meters is way too large. We need like 3 meters. But if anybody knows relatively the size of distance in Battlefield, I would love to know. The units, excuse me. So if you are within that, then let's grab an else block. If you're within that, then we're going to set variable. We're going to create a player variable and call it within distance. Okay. Set variable player within distance for current array element to true. Otherwise, you are not within distance. The units seem like meters to me when I was running around with the coordinates thing I made. Yeah, that adds up to me. I'm going to change this to be like 4 meters just so it's a little easier to test with. But, yeah, like I said, in most game design, everything's done in meters, not freedom units. Okay. We also want to make sure that, again, the player we're comparing is not the hardpoint player. So let's grab an and. Sometimes it works that you can just drag it and it'll self-inset, but not this time. Not equal to. So now we want to say, excuse me, the current array element is not equal to the current hardpoint. So that way, if you are the current hardpoint, this set of code will not run for you, or your within distance will always be set to false. We'll have another set of logic that gives you points, because it probably will have to be at a different scale for both sides of the equation. Interestingly, I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on this. What if, instead of the hardpoint player getting points when he's not around players, what if he gets points when he is around players? No, but then that conflicts with the one-on-one points. They can't both be earning points. We'll keep them keeping away. All right. Ignore it. I said nothing. Okay, so then we're going to set the variable to be that. And let's see. Let's just browse through the user interface. We can display a custom message to the current array element. That's the second to last is duration, right? Yep. So we got message, custom message, slots, item, and duration. Because this only goes for 1 second, or the loop runs every second, we can just do that. Let's grab this. Oh, let's grab this message. You are within range of the hardpoint. This is just so I can have a little easier time testing this. And for custom message slot, we'll throw it under header text, sure. All right. And with that, switch over to Battlefield, and let's see if we can go run up on a hardpoint. I need like some hold music for the load screens. Like for real though. Some elevator music. I'll do it for us. See, it tricked it. Now we're here. All right, let's wait for somebody to become the hardpoint. Okay. Now it's got to get over there at 3 frames per second and not die. I probably could set the AI to easy while I'm testing this. Oh my god. No, I can't get in a gunfight with frames like this, man. Yeah, look at that. Oh, man. Okay, so maybe I'll set up a streaming computer with one of my laptops, run my PC off of a cap card. Put me in the same spawn, of course. Let's stay down here. Oh, right off the bat. Give me a better spawn. Okay. Could also set the redeploy time to be low. Okay, when we finish this test run, we're setting the AI to be stupid as hell. And the redeploy time to be like instant. Oh my god. Because I just cannot do anything about... I could also set the max health to be kind of nutty. Where's the guy? They're not marked. Is there a range that you have to be within for the 3D mark? Well, this is not good. Oh, there he is. Just disappeared again. I wonder if it's from them dying and respawn. Oh, they're probably on the deploy screen on their redeploy timer. Whoa. Just clip through that wall real quick. Which, of course, that will not be an issue. I can definitely scroll in a little bit on the text and portal editor. Sorry, my ultra wide's probably not helping that out. Okay, there they are. Yes, I have noticed that they spawn camp. It's kind of freaking ridiculous. Oh my god, no. I'm reading chat. I can't shoot you right now. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to leave the game. I'm going to set the player count to 2, so it's just me and the other guy. I'm going to set him to dumb, and I'm going to give us a bunch of health so that everything will be fine. So while that's loading up, we'll save. We're saved. Damage multiplier. Turn it to... I still have to be able to kill the guy to make him hardpoint. Where are they at? AI? Beginners. Okay, try this again. I just zoomed in a good bit on my Chrome page, so the font should be a lot bigger now when we swap back here. While we're loading, you can take a peek. Check that out. should be much better. Let me know if that's any better, actually. I won't just assume. But what the hell did I load into? I picked the entirely wrong game mode. This is my gun game tutorial. We're back to episode 1, everybody. It's a wrap. Thank you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Any of you, I think you should leave watchers out there. Player Hardpoint. Wow, that's not what I wanted. Shit. I didn't change my player count. That's fine. They should be much easier now, at least. If I still can't get to the damn player, or the hard point, then we'll change that. We got a hello from somebody on YouTube chat. Hey dude, back to you. How you doing? Thanks for joining the stream. Oh, sorry, I just realized my stupid chat had been filtering YouTube chat. This was another one a while back about possible to add objectives in certain areas. We talked about that at the start of the stream a little bit, but short answer is no right now. Anything that's actually dependent on a 3D position in the map, no good. There they are. No, there's an enemy. Oh, the frame drop. What is going on? Oh my god. Oh, you're here as well. Awesome. Yeah, sorry about that. I wasn't able to see my YouTube chats for a second. Something we could also do for testing right now is set it so that the hard point pretty much can't die. I'm trying to like get behind cover, but it's so unresponsive. Whoa. And my aim is awful when you get 2 frames a second. I'm just waiting for the bot to respawn. Oh my god. Where are they at? Where's the ping? There they are. Way over there. Alright, you know what? Kill me. Give me a better spawn. See if I care. Yeah, 32 might be a little... Well, I mean, honestly, looking at the map and the amount of shooting, it's not bad. But just with my current situation. Alright, we're going to set this up to be easier to test. Because this is just not workable. So we're going to set... Alright, if not equal to, then we're going to heal player. Yeah. Okay, how about this? We could set everybody's max health to be 1,000 once there's a hard point set. That way I could just run up and see them. We'll definitely set theirs to be 1,000. And we'll set ours to be 1,000 too. Screw it, why not? For current array element. And we'll move it outside of this if. Keep it. Hello. What is going on here? Oh. Oh. There we go. Now we're talking. Okay. And I'm also going to change the players to 2. Glad you're enjoying the channel. Definitely makes it worthwhile once when people are enjoying it. Okay. That should be better to test with now. Sorry to waste all that time, y'all. Here I was thinking both myself and my computer could be competent, but that was a mistake. Oh, I'm so excited. My Amazon package that just got delivered. New camera mount. Right now it's on a tripod tucked behind my desk, which is why you can see my monitor right here. But my new one clamps right there and comes forward. It's going to be looking pretty sweet. This would be really nice. And then I can move this backdrop away from being like right on top of me. Maybe one of these days I'll iron it too. If we're getting real fancy. Alright, 1v1. Me and some poor AI. Oh my god, it's running way better already. Thanks for the netcode. Oh, but finding that AI is going to be something else. Can't hear him. Here, I'll turn on my game audio. That way y'all can hear that. Maybe you had it. I should probably check that before I'm turning things on and off. Let's see. Nope, you don't. Okay. Then have some game audio. Okay. Well, now we've got the opposite problem. If I shoot, will they be attracted to my noise? What can I do? I also don't want to become the hardpoint because I need to test this, so I don't want to get surprised, ganked. I guess we'll just go try and find him. Thanks for hanging out with us for a bit. Glad you could join us. And appreciate it. Okay, come on. This is ridiculous now. Thought I heard footsteps. They've got to be inside, right? I keep thinking I'm hearing footsteps. It's tripping me out. Oh my god, we're teleporting. Where are you at, little bot? I will say I wish there were some even smaller maps than this available. I mean, this is probably not the smallest of the small maps. I'm not trying to say it is. But, you know, for this to be categorized as a small map, when compared to something like a shoot house or something on Call of Duty, just not quite the same. Okay. Well, I guess I can crank up the players again now that there's the max health hack. I just don't I don't know what else to do. I thought we'd be able to run into them pretty easily, but clearly that was a mistake. Yeah, I think that's kind of our option. So, let me just make sure there actually is a bot in here too. Yeah, there is. Sergeant J. Farley. Alright, well, with that health hack, we can put the player count back up. And then head back to Portal. Again, another reason we should be able to locally host single player A, it wouldn't eat up their game quota, and B, this whole process would be so much easier and so much faster. Thanks, Mr. Sparkle, for the follow. Nope, that's old. Thanks, whoever just followed me then. I don't know, it's showing me old ones. My phone app for Twitch is a garbage. Alright, I'm seriously considering some hold music now. Wait, I don't want to earn the first kill. That's how I get to become the hunter. Okay. Hang on, my max health should have been getting updated. Unless they fixed it so that max health doesn't change your health as well. In which case that will need an adjustment. How do you spawn in and die? Nope, see my max health is not 1,000. I'm just running through the battlefield. Yeah, they can, like, the AI have wall hacks. They'll start shooting you before they even see you. Come on. Give me a notification. Come on. No notification. Okay, so our distance updater is not working. I guess I could have assumed that based on the fact that the max health wasn't changing. Error reported by current array element. Current element cannot be used in this scope. Okay, let's take a look at where I'm using it. I might have had a bad copy paste. Back to the rules we go. Oh, right here, set player max health. Duh. No, wait, that should be it. Can I not? Well, you know what I can do instead of using current array element there is value in array. And then a get variable. Nope. Global distance iterator from players. I have a feeling it's because it's inside of another if block. So I'm just going to try and remove these current array elements where possible. Okay. I'm pretty sure how it works is that the distance iterator gets set to the index. So I can use the get players value in array at that index. Hopefully. Let's take a look. All right, it's my mission in life now. I'm gonna develop some hold music that I can turn on and off. Because these wait times. Okay, now once there's a player hardpoint, hopefully, just check the logs. No error logs yet. That's good. How about now? No error logs. That's good. Max health is 1,000. He's right over there. Everything seems to be working. They're just gonna shoot each other to the end of time, which is kind of funny. I'm within range of the hard point. Look at that. And now if I leave, it should go away. Or I need to use clear custom game mode message, huh? Because I think it might stack them in a queue. Okay. Well, we're partially there. That's actually amazing news. That means that this is gonna work. That's what it means. So, okay, awesome. I really hate when it does that bug, so I'm gonna fix that. Okay, then we need to clear custom message. Does it take a slot? Yeah. And it'll be for value and array. Okay, awesome. It seemed like that 4 meters was pretty good as far as distance. Okay. I'm adding this else if. It's time to start giving some points to our hardpoint for holding the hardpoint. So let's add an else if, and we're going to say we actually want an equal to. They're not a not equal to. Okay, I thought it was doing a glitchy thing. Okay, so then we're also going to set them to be within distance false just so that our scoring doesn't double give them points. And set game mode score. And wait, what am I looking at here? Okay, there we go. That is correct. Just making sure I'm not tripping here. And we need to get game mode score. And add 3. Add 1. Add however many we want. Doesn't really matter. Get variable, get game mode score for that same hardpoint player. And we're going to add, we'll just do 1 for now. We also need to say default scoring is false. So now, if we go into the match, post it. Now we should see once a bot becomes the hard point that their score should just tick up by 1 every second that passes. Which is awesome. We might want to slow that down a little bit. maybe 3 seconds. A nice 20 points per minute. If you hold it for 5 minutes, 100-point win. Yeah, that seems like a pretty good fair game mode. So we can actually change that to that. So we're going to wait for 3 seconds. The spot target's going to last for 3.5 seconds. And that should be the only time-based thing. Alright, now we have to do nothing but watch the scoreboard. Okay. Wow, it's going up like crazy. Okay, it went nutso. Wow, that just like instantly ended the round. Let's figure out what's going on with that. So that means that our set game mode score is getting called a ton. That's interesting. Let's see. Let me do some math here. It was adding 1 point for each player. So the else if current hardpoint equals, I just changed this to be the same logic as far as getting it out of the array. Let's try that. That could have been the issue. Abort out of that. Let me just look at this a second and figure out what's going on. Why it would run 24 times. So we are looping 24 times per second, right? That's what this logic is saying. However, this should be delimiting it to say that it only runs the set game mode score when current hardpoint equals that value in an array. Yeah, okay, this should work better. Hopefully. If it still doesn't, I will be mighty confused and interested in y'all's input. Thanks for the follow, Mr. Statham. Okay, I'm gonna spend this time looking for elevator music. 1 hour loop. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm so using that. It's perfect. Okay, let's make sure. Okay, now no points are being assigned at all, despite somebody being the hard point. So that means that that logic is not ever true. Okay. Okay. So equals current. Oh, okay, the current hard point is never returning true for whether equals the value in array or the distance iterator. I'm going to open this up to the peanut gallery. Let me zoom in. So our problem code is right here. This is never running. Although by my count, it should be. Anybody got an idea? Maybe it's these? Maybe, okay, so something else could be preventing it from reaching that code block, i.e. if this is true somehow. I probably could check the logs too. What I see here is there's some current array elements that could get replaced with the value in array. It's because it was complaining about that before. I don't know why. Okay, let's save this. Let's head into the portal again. And let's check the logs if it's not working. Much better, don't you think? All right. Whoa, Wiser. It was running really good for a second there, you see? It's not always bad for me. They got a point. They got another point. So it's working. Look at it climb. Every 3 seconds, they're getting a point. We have Hardpoint, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, kind of. We've got the start of Hardpoint. So now, let's take it down again. Now, we need to determine if other players are within distance. So, interestingly, okay, how about this? Simple solution without arrays. We'll have a player variable. We'll have that essentially mimic the state of whether or not they're within distance. So when we go in distance, we set it to true. Then when we leave the distance, or when we do the next check, if that player variable is true, but our last one, but we're not actually within the distance, we can set the player variable to false. But all the meanwhile, we could be incrementing a number of players in circle, and then checking against that number. If the number of players in circle is 0, give points to the hard point. If number of players in circle is 1, give points to that one player. If number of players in circle is more than 1, don't give points to any players. Big brain time. We freaking got it. Okay. Let's do it. So, we'll call this was within distance underneath the player. And we'll go ahead and set that one up. So we'll grab a set variable. And then we'll say player was within distance. Oh wait, we already have a variable for that. The within distance, that's funny. Well, I like my new naming scheme, and I never used this one. So, well, actually, I set all those up already. Screw it. We'll use within distance then. Let me go delete that. Okay. So we'll set the variable to true. Then we need a if okay, that's what. Sorry, I've got a little confused looking at that for a minute. This is actually the code for when our stupid thing, when our hardpoint is there. So let's add it to here. Okay, if get variable player for value in array within distance equals true. Oh, I need a literal. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm looking for. Then we want to set it to false. And we need to also set the variable of a global type. Variable. Number of players within range. And we're going to set that to subtract. What is this guy doing over here? I don't see anywhere where he's missing from. It's always alarming when something like that just pops up. Sorry, so I just got totally sidetracked. So we're going to set the number of players within range to subtract. And we'll do a get variable of number of players within range and a number literal 1. So if we leave, then we're going to decrease it. We need this code block again. And then if it was previously false, then we're going to set it to true. And we're going to change this to be an add. Okay, so we can delete this within distance. Number of players within range. Okay. So now to assign points, let's grab another if. We're going to get nested here, man. If, let's see. And what is with these just random ones just appearing? It's a little alarming, you know? Get variable number of players within range equals 0. Okay. So if the number of players within range equals 0, Then we're going to allow the hardpoint to get some score. If we are within range and our previous within distance was false, we're going to set our within distance to true. Add the number of players. Once we leave, if our previous within distance was true, then we're going to set it to false. Subtract a player from the count. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, so now we need an if up here. If we'll need the same thing here. I actually could just copy this whole thing, huh? And then we'll just need to change the set game mode score for the player to be the value in array. Sweet. So if number of players within range equals 1, then we'll set the game mode score to be +1. And we'll also need the value in array there for our user reference. Sweet. So now we'll only get score as a player if we are the only person within range. The hardpoint will only get score if nobody's within range. And if more than one person is within range, nobody will get score. We're pretty much there. I think what we need to build now, let's check our list. That is what we just built. That has been built. This is not something we're doing. And weapons determined at runtime via logic editor. That's something we need to improve on a little bit and fine tune, but we'll spend the last bit doing that. So let's do the kill logic. So on player earned kill. We can add an else here. This is setting up our first hardpoint, remember? Otherwise, actually we can make it an else if instead of an else. And then we're going to say, is the current hardpoint equal to our event other player? AKA, did we just, on our on kill earned, did we just kill the other player, and was that person the current hardpoint? If so, then we will set us to be the current hardpoint. Is the new hardpoint. With that, I mean, this thing should be pretty much there. Like I said, aside from fine-tuning the loadouts and the rules. Let's find out. Isn't it crazy how we can build a game mode like this in 2 hours? 2 hours. And we've got our own custom hardpoint mode. God bless Portal. Oh, we still have our max health. So nobody will be the second hardpoint. We'll have to change that. Let's fix that again real quick. Okay, so up here, no more set player max health. I'm tired of these random things appearing, so I'm just gonna Blow them away. And I forgot to do it that time, but it looks like it did it right. Okay. I think that's all the hacky things that we added, besides the damage, so I can go change that to be normal now. And try this again. Sorry, I'm just watching the points. I'm not really trying to play. I'm gonna make sure that the hard point switches to somebody else. That ragdoll though. He's not getting points right now, so that must have meant that he's staying close to people, so he's not getting points. The AI really clumps up. Oh, somebody killed him. Check it out. Oh, that is so freaking cool. We've got Hardpoint. We have freaking Hardpoint in Battlefield 2042. That's so cool. Alright, well now we get to do the fun part. Let me just check. Oh, failed to apply action. That's something I was gonna add. Is player deployed? Check. Okay. Let's add that check real quick here. We're just gonna do one overarching if. That we're gonna take this giant if and put it under. The mega if. Get player state. Get player state bool. Is deployed. Or is alive. Yeah, that's a good one. And we want to check that against our value in array. So now all this code will only run for that player if they're alive, which should save that bug and also save any weird point issues that might pop up where somebody's getting points because they died next to the hard point or something like that, you know? So with that, let's give our hardpoint player their own loadout. So we set up that variable before, so we can just go ahead down here to... we had a hardpoint loadout player variable for sure. Player loadout. Weird. That's fine. Make another one. All right, hardpoint loadout. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Secondary. Throwables. Open gadgets. Character specialties. Okay. So we talked about this person getting a grappling hook as well. Let's give them a claymore. Or no, we were going to give them... Yeah, we'll give them a claymore. Where's MedPen? Am I crazy? Oh, it's probably under... I'm dumb. MedPen. We wanted to give them a MedPen. For their throwables, we can give them a smoke we talked about. For their secondary, give them a G57, sure. Or how about an M44? Why not? And then they're going to have to be kind of running and gunning. So I'm thinking probably a PP29. Got to go with the meta. Okay, cool. So now we have both of our loadouts defined. Look at that mega if statement. That is insane. That's AI right there. Ridiculous. Oh, I forgot to add this wait statement down here just in case. If you become the hardpoint, then we need to replace your player inventory. So let's first of all define our if statement for if event player equals hardpoint. If event player equals there we go. If you are the current hardpoint, then we'll give you a set of things. Otherwise, I'm going to copy paste that real quick just so I can get these blocks easily. Otherwise, you are not the hardpoint and you should get the normal player loadout. This actually doesn't make sense to have it on spawn here, just because once you die as hardpoint, you're no longer hardpoint. But just for redundancy and so that it's the same code in both places. Actually, I can just take this right now, put it there. We don't need all that. You're never going to be alive when you switch from being a hardpoint to a normal player, so we don't need to handle that. Okay, awesome. So now we're giving them the loadouts that we define. We could also set max health to maybe 150. And then up here, if you deploy and you are getting a player loadout, then your max health should be 100. Again, I guess for redundancy's sake, we can go here. All right. Let's also give them ammo. Set inventory ammo. For the event player. It takes a player inventory slots item. There's a way to check active. It's just a Boolean though. So if you want to get complicated, I guess we're ahead of schedule here, so we can get complicated. We can add an if statement here. Is inventory slot active for event player? And slots. So we're going to say if your kill was with the primary weapon, then we'll give you some primary weapon ammo. Sorry for zooming out all the time, guys. I'm trying to keep it zoomed in. For the primary weapon, and we'll say get inventory ammo for event player for their primary weapon, and we'll actually wrap that in an add. And put a number literal for how much ammo you want to give them. We'll give them like 20 rounds. Okay. Then we can do a else if. Is inventory slots active secondary? Set inventory ammo for secondary. And we'll give them 10 secondary bonus. And yeah. So now when you get kills, you'll get bonus ammo so that you can stay alive, stay in the game, stay in the fight. That's especially helpful if you are the hardpoint. Yeah, looking good so far. So let's check our list. We got our kill logic to transfer the hardpoint, and we have weapons determined at runtime via the logic editor. Something I mentioned we could do is making this first primary weapon be dynamic. So in order to do that, we'll set a variable. Potential soldier weapons is global, and potential hardpoint weapons as a global. And what we're going to want to do here, grab one of these bad boys up here for potential soldier weapons, index 0. And then however many of these you want to have as options. I recommend like around 10. Just so that, you know, people play a bunch of rounds time after time on your server. They're pretty well guaranteed to not get to not get the same weapon loadouts like twice in a row or anything like that. So we'll just keep on trucking. Copy and paste. This would be a great time where multi-select would be awesome. And one more. Let's hit it with the save so we don't lose anything. Okay, and now we can choose the different weapons that the soldiers will be playing as. So let's choose PP29. Let's choose the LCMG, AC42, GVT. The shotguns are so awful, but it would be kind of funny to stick people with them. I just realized I probably picked something I didn't want to pick up here. Let's go Battlefield 3. Choose like the Val. Battlefield 3. Scar H. Battlefield 3. Oh. Type 88 slaps. Let's do the EMR. That'd be kind of a challenging one. Okay, so awesome. So there we have a bunch of potential soldier weapons. Now, instead of saying that the value at 0 for the player loadout is a specific weapon, we'll say random value in array. Oh, shoot. And we'll just supply it a reference to that variable array. Now, when it runs this at the start of the match, it'll add these to a list, get a random one from that list, build your loadout, and then use that loadout. Next match, add a randomize the list, grab a random one, use it in that match, so on and so forth. So this is how you can have persistent throughout the match randomization, but different between each round. So now we can do the same thing. Whoa, okay. We can do the same thing again for the other team's loadout, the Hardpoint's loadout. Sorry, getting spacey. We could also use the same, as in the same set list, but I've randomized, and actually I think that's what I'm going to do. That way everybody's fighting with the same weapon. Is that fun? Or would it be more fun to have people fighting with different weapons? Like, should they just get a super OP weapon? Although I can't control attachments or anything through Logic Editor, so we can't make them too OP. However, and they can't really run with an LMG or anything. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is make it a random value in array as well for its primary weapon. So they're not the same weapon on both teams, but they're from the same set of weapons. All right, and just like that, our hardpoint mode is donezo. We are good to go. Anybody have any questions, any suggestions, something I'm missing, something we should add? If not, then I'm going to, well, either way, I'm going to, while I wait for those, come in here and change some things like redeploy timing, redeploy delay, pretty much make it instant. We'll do like 0.2. Let's make it a little bit faster. Yeah, that sounds good to me. No questions from the peanut gallery? No requests? Hey Cryptic on YouTube, and hey Haven, how you guys doing? Glad to have you here. Sorry if it's been a while since you sent those messages. I'm slow on the chat, alright. Okay. Yeah, so I think the only thing left to do is pick some maps that would be fun to play on. And honestly, I think this could be great on just about any of the small maps. Let's go ahead and add them. $24 felt like a good amount. Well, actually, let's do like 28. Just a little bit more, but 32 was a little crazy. All this is still fine, I think. All right. Just like that, we've got a finished. Is the person the hard point? Yes, that's correct. You could define a 3D location. For example, if you only have one map in rotation, and then you use some of the tools people have made to print out or put in a notification your current location, you could go and find a location or set of locations, put them in an array, and mark them as the hard point. However, you have no way to indicate it visually to the player because you can't just ping a 3D location, I don't think. I guess I have that spot right down here. Let's take a look at that. Interesting. Yeah, only takes a player. If it took a vector, then you could mark a ping. But because I want to have multiple maps, because I don't want it to just be one location or a small set of locations, and because I want there to be a visual element that you can see where to go to get points for the hard point, then yeah, that's why we're using a player. You could use a 3D location, however, do note when you have multiple maps that will not work well. Unless you pick a really good point that works somehow on multiple maps. But so yeah, the person is the hard point. Okay, the only thing that I really see left is to finish this off with some nice notifications and UI. So I'm actually probably going to do that off stream. I'm going to hop off here, polish this up. I'll share the game code and the portal editor link both on the website and in the Discord. If you're not on the Discord, go get on the Discord. Link is on the website, www.bfportal.pro. Soon you'll be able to go to bfportal.pro/discord and it'll take you there, but don't do it yet because it will do nothing. So, yeah, anyways, thank you guys for coming to hang out with me on stream. Really appreciate it. Had a lot of fun. Again, it's crazy that 2 hours and 18 minutes later, here we are with a pretty much full Hardpoint game that you could do whatever you want to from here. So, really excited about it. It's going up on the portal and available for anybody to edit, play, tinker with, and I'm happy to take feedback as well. So, thank you again for hanging out with me. If you're watching this in the future, hey, you're still hanging out with me. I can feel it inside. That's weird, but it's staying in. Anyways, thanks so much, you guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more videos. Visit bfportal.pro for all you need to know for learning how to make these games, finding great games to play, soon finding people to play with, all sorts of stuff. And I look forward to seeing you around. Thanks so much. Peace.